Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. It is September 8th, and I really hate to say it, but not only did the rain chase me into the camper, it is 41 degrees outside. I think it just was sleeting for about 2 to 3 minutes. Fall is here and the snow is coming. But anyways, a couple videos ago, I think I did so many videos inside the camper. I was calling this now the StarCraft Studios. So today's video is a campground review of the DEC Campground 8th Lake. It's where I currently am staying, and I got some good and some bad on this place, but we'll see how it does. So follow along. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to continue to follow my adventures. But today is a campground review of the DEC Campground 8th Lake. Now, I do my campground reviews in 5 different categories. They are inner roads and sites. How are their sites? Are they easy to get level your rig, level your tent so you don't end up at one side overnight? The roads, how are the roads? Facilities, how are your bathrooms and showers? Amenities, what do they have to offer? Staffing, is the staffing doing their job and able to answer questions from the public? And then price point, is the price you pay worth coming to the campground? Each one of those get a 0 to 10 rating, with 10 being the best. I add up the grades of the 5 categories and divide by 5, and that is the final grade of the campground. So 8th Lake Campground is located on Route 28, in between Racket Lake and Inlet. They offer 120 sites. All sites only have a fire ring and a picnic table. There are no hookups at this campground, and I have to say that my site that I'm on, I really like the site that I'm on. I am on site 44, and I have to say that I do like this site. It was very easy to level my rig, but as I walked around and looked at other people's sites and talked to them, a little bit different. So anyways, let's get into it. The road into the campground is paved all the way right to the ticket booth. After that, the road is paved, broken pavement, and stone. And there's a lot of areas on the roads where you're going down through and the truck is rocking back and forth, and it's kind of rough. Most of the roads are narrow within the campground, so if you meet another rig, it could be an issue. The sites, what makes this campground kind of unique, it's called 8th Lake Campground, but it has water sites on 8th Lake and on 7th Lake. So it's kind of a neat setup for the campground. So 8th Lake is up here, 7th Lake would be down here. It's kind of a neat setup. So my site was easy to get onto, easy to level, but as I walked around and talked to a few other people and looked at rigs that were there were some sites, especially near the water, that are closer together, and it looks like a little bit more uneven. I saw blocks underneath tires anywhere from a couple inches to really 4 or 5 inches to get rigs level, and especially from nose to tail, backing onto some of those sites, it kind of slopes down towards the water, so the nose of the camper is all the way down on the ground, and they still weren't level. But really, overall, the roads can use some work, and I think there's some sites that could use some work, but overall, I did like how the sites were spaced apart. They get a high grades on the sites, but on the roads they get a lower grade. So I'm giving them a 6.5 for inner roads and sites. And that was my furnace running because it is 41 degrees out. Facilities. There are water spigots located throughout the park to fill your RV or water jugs. I had to fill water jugs because I set up my camper and I forgot to fill my water tank before I set up. So I did a lot of run down to the water spigot with water jugs to get some water for the camper. The bathrooms are located throughout the park. They are your typical DEC bathrooms. They are older appliances in there, older toilets, older urinals, older type of sinks. They have hand soap, and the type of sink that you turn on, you have to hold with one hand in order to get the water flowing, and then you got to hold it with the other hand to rinse this hand, because it's on a spring-loaded faucet that automatically shuts off, and there is no paper towels or any way to dry your hands. The bathrooms, they seem to be clean, and all the ones that I checked were in working order. They offer recycling facilities for they have the dumpsters for your trash and recycling, and there's a dump station located at the entrance of the park, and I saved the showers to last because much like they're similar in design and build and shape as they were at Golden Beach, and Golden Beach showers were very much lacking, so just watch this. This is the shower house, 8th Lake. Looks very familiar. Looks just like the one that's at Golden Beach, except you don't see any of the mold that you do at Golden Beach on this one. It looks like that they did do some cleaning up there, but coming in, you have your urinal, your toilet. Then you have the old showers. Some of them have a bench and a hook. And coming down through, a bench and a couple of hooks there, a bench and a hook, no bench, barely a hook, and then down in this dark corner you have a bench, but you have 4 hooks. Oh, no, I take that back, there's 6. Much like Golden Beach, the shower pans have cracks in them. And one other thing I noticed is that they have the legs down here wrapped because they are rusted out all the way down through. Again, not my favorite. You have to push the button in order to get the water flowing. And it don't seem bad. We'll see if it gets hotter. I don't like the ones you can't control the temperature. So sometimes you want a cold shower. Sometimes you really want a hot shower. So there definitely needs a few upgrades in here. Not only do we have, it looks like on this side, we have some mold up there in the ceiling. But that light doesn't look like it's going to last much longer. It's got burn marks on it. And then this light is out. And that light over there is out too. So for facilities, I'm giving them a 6.5 on facilities. Most of the bathrooms they're kept clean, but they're older style. But the showers really need some work. So 6.5 for facilities. Amenities. Well, this is a very decent campground, I think. It's been many years since I've stayed here, but they have a beach. They have a boat launch and hand launch area. Motorboats are allowed on both 8th Lake and 7th Lake. There's paddling opportunities here, not just on the 8th Lake and 7th Lake, but there's other bodies of water. There's hiking trails within the park that you can hike, and there's hiking trails within very close to the area. They sell firewood here. They have a fishing dock. And they also do boat or canoe rentals here at the campground. So for amenities, it's not too bad here. So I gave them a 7.5. Staffing. I had really not a lot of encounters with the staff, but the encounters I did have with the staff, I have no complaints. They were nice and talkative and informative, and they seemed to be doing their job. very well, and now just because I've had good interaction with the staff doesn't automatically they get a 10. The grounds look to be in good shape. I do think that there's some areas that they need to concentrate on the road. So I'm giving the staff a 7.5. Price point. So the cost of this site each night was $22. With the reservation fee of $7.25, the average nightly stay here was $24.41. And I'm not a fan of the Reserve America fee, just because I think that's a pretty steep fee for, you know, you're doing all the work online to reserve the site. They're just raking in the money for it. I think a $3.25 fee for Reserve America is appropriate. Some people think that I should hold that against the park, but the park is owned by New York State, and New York State's the one that contracts with Reserve America. They should look into that contract again. So I'm giving them a 6.0, $22 a night. I've been to free campgrounds that have better roads than this place, and that's a hang up that I'm going to have in this review, is because there was some of the roads, I mean, you got to rock it pretty good coming in here, and maybe they use them as speed bumps to keep speed down, which could be logical too. But for price point, I gave them a 6.0. So for incidentals, I had no cell service where I was. If I paddled out onto the lake, probably 50 yards, I would get one bar. And I have Verizon service. Gas and groceries are less than 10 miles away. Racket Lake is 5 miles away, 5.2 miles away to be exact. And Inlet is 6 miles away. So in both Inlet and Racket Lake, there's a general store in Racket Lake, and there's a gas pumps in Racket Lake. Plus in Inlet, there is a convenience store in Inlet, plus gas and restaurants that are in Inlet. So anyways, the final score for 8th Lake, they got 34 out of 50 points for an overall grade of 6.8. That is my review of the 8th Lake Campground. Alright folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.